The Other Dimension. With the team, Damon Penny, Ben Winfield, and Louisa Brown. We guide you through the supernatural, the occult, and the unexplained, answering questions that will make you question your grip of reality, with special guests guiding you through everything from demons to divination, cryptids to crystals, religion to skeptics. We explore in depth the true meaning of the unexplained. So strap in, kick back, and enjoy as we enter the other dimension.
Evening, guys. Just literally me tonight, which is scary. So I'm hoping you might get some people on. I know it was last minute. I apologize on that one. It has been one hell of a busy week for me, and I forgot to do the ad. So Damon is currently dealing with some personal stuff, which is fine. And Lou is out on a works night out. So it's like I said, it is literally just me. So, because it's a slightly random night. Good evening. At least I'm not by myself. Even if it's just me and you talking tonight. I am going to open the floor to questions as normal. And one of the main things I want to talk about as well is everyone on here and quite a few friends and that lot have all been bombarding me about the recent university course that has become available down in Exeter. And they are teaching a degree in magic. Now, everyone has jumped on this straight away without looking into it, including a lot of people that I know as well, like in the academic circles. There is one major thing that has been missed when it comes to mentioning this course. Hi, Annette. Nice to see you. The main thing is you have to have a university degree that will help in understanding this course. Now, the way it got portrayed in the news was that you could just instantly sign up and do the degree. You have to have a 2.1 mark to be even accepted on the course. And the course leans more towards Middle Eastern teachings on magic when it comes to the Islamic faith more than anything. It covered the first couple of sections are on the Romans and the Greeks. Then it leans to the more Middle Eastern side of stuff. Sorry, guys. There's my cheese on toast because my dog's just ate it. Look at mine tonight. So, like I say, the course leans towards the more Far Eastern teachings when it comes to like the Islamic demonology, which doesn't really get spoke about a hell of a lot because in Western society, Western cultology, it's very Christianized, whereas Middle Eastern is very Islamicized. I can't really use that as a word, but it's more like it's creeping now. You ate my toast? No. It's more lean onto the Islamic faith even. So the course is leaning onto that. Then you've got, if I remember correctly, it's looking at women within the medieval era of magic. So it's not really leaning on to what a lot of people think is esoteric magic, and like esoteric science, stuff like that. Hi, Natasha. Nice to see you. Hi, Jeanette. It has been a bit of a crazy day, hasn't it? So people that are looking and really wanting to do this course, firstly, I would check everything you do on the course. Like I say, get the full details of this course, but a lot, unfortunately, it's not open to everyone. Because, like I said, you have to have a universal degree behind you first. God knows why they've done that, because the whole course is a year long and it's all on the internet. You do a full, I think, if I remember correctly, it's like a full, don't quote me on this, but I think it's 6 months online full time and then half and then part time for the other 6 months, but it's all online. So it's not actually, it's a recognized degree, don't get me wrong, but it's not what people think. It's not an online, like one of these online courses you do and you get your little diploma. It's a full degree, full actual degree. However, it's read into all the details first. It was, it's a shame because I say lots of people have been in contact with me asking me about it. And I've even had some proper academic friends of mine asking, "Are you going to be taking part in this?" Because there's a list of just loads of people to refer to, and that lot they're going to be referring people to go and learn stuff. Well, I will, however, because I don't like you guys to miss out on stuff, I will be getting in contact with the person who is running it. She's an old lecturer of mine, and I will see what details I can get for you, and I might even sneakily start teaching you guys a bit of what was actually in the course, and we'll go through it that way. Unfortunately, I can't give you the paper that says you've got the degree, but I can give you the information that would possibly be on there. I just need to get in contact with her and find out what subject she's going to be on. Um, Hello, Sally. Oh, while Sally's here as well, guys, go check out Pentagraphics for our merchandise, and they do their own merchandise. Some of them is absolutely amazing. Go check them out. Honestly, they are brilliant people, and with me and Lou have worked with Sally quite a few times on events with HD, and she's a beautiful person as well. So honestly, go support them. They're a small business. Go buy their shirts. Even if you don't buy our merchandise, go buy some of their merchandise as well, because we need to support small businesses. And that's saying a lot of people will not understand the commitment that has to be given for this kind of course. No, and to be honest with you, just being a year, there is so much, so much that you will not get to learn in it, especially if it's a year, because a lot of people will do this course, do it for a year, then put it aside, and that's it. They won't carry on. It's the same with, I'm going to sound like I'm being a bit of a, let's put it right, I'm being a bit of a knob here, but it's the same with a lot of demonologists out there. They only understand the Christian side of demonology. Same as Islam's, they only understand demonology from an Islamic point of view. Same again with Jewish. The difference is with cultology, with a cultologist demonologist that I am, is we cover every religion going. That's the thing you learn. You learn Western esoteric magic. You learn Far Eastern stuff. You learn Middle Eastern stuff, and then you try and learn everything else. So the African nations themselves have their own teachings. These are the precursors to voodoo and hoodoo, and then obviously you go to America, you have voodoo, hoodoo, all that lot. They started in America, but when you trace it back, it still goes back to the tribal beliefs in Africa. It's in that changeover. I wish I'd kept my paper for my dissertation, because I will try and drag up my notes, find my notes and try and drag it up, and I will do a whole show on it. It's just, it's amazing how things change through history, like religious teachings and different practices. That's something that will not be on this course, and that is a massive thing that will be lost. Resto could probably take half a year just going over shams. Yeah, that's the thing. I spent 2 years just looking at far what's known as like the Sand tribes. So 2 years spent just looking at the belief systems from Egypt. I'm trying to think. It was like Egypt. So this, well, basically the stretch of the Sahara. So you had from Morocco, Libya, all that lot, all the way through the sands, all the way across, because the tribes people had their own religion there, their own different belief system. Yeah, and even it completely slipped my mind. I forgot about that. But yes, as Sally said, it's £12,000 for the course. So you take into account when I did my uni course and got my qualification, it cost me nearly 60 grand. And I had to work like a frigging dog to make all the ends meet. Luckily, it was spread out over the years. I've only just finished paying it off in like what was that, 28. So 2018, I finished paying it off. 2018, 2000, no, 21, I finally finished paying it off. 2021, I finally finished paying it off, and I've been doing it since I was sort of, oh, I started doing it from, okay, it's all right, I'm figuring out how old we are, we'll leave it at that. But yeah, I obviously had to pay my uni loan back like everyone else does. So it's not money to just throw away. Like I say, it's a shame it's not open to everyone, but that's unfortunately how it is. Hopefully, this might kickstart, and this is me hoping, it might kickstart a lot of other places to go, you know what, we might start teaching called like esoteric stuff, esoteric science, cultology, all that sort of stuff. Because you've got places like Derby University is brilliant. It's got a religious centre. That's where I started learning. From there, then I went. Then you've got Cambridge, where I went and studied the books there. You've got Oxford's, Cambridge and Oxford's personal libraries are brilliant. You've got Cambridge has got John Dee stuff. High Wycombe have got an esoteric library still. There's anywhere you can find that a university does theologian teachings, you can usually find there is cultology teachings there. And that's where you can branch out into stuff. And it is brilliant. But there are all the ways of doing it. And yes, I know I can hear people already saying it behind the screens of people that are going to watch this back in the next couple of weeks. I know I keep saying that I'm working on a book. I am doing. However, it just stresses me out because I've got to try and condense down as much knowledge as I can within books and try not to put out knowledge that would put people in harm's way and not being able there to talk to them as I'm teaching. So I'm used to teaching this way. I'm used to teaching one-on-one or having people in a room and teaching them in the room. So if they've got any questions, I can answer it there and then. It's actually, I might, when I finally get around to writing this book, I might just put my phone number in the back and say, guys, ring if you need anything. Oh yeah, just in case anyone's wondering, I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm literally drinking cream soda. So yeah, so with that course, honestly, guys, brilliant idea, but I will try and bring it in. A lot of the details that are going to be on there, I will try and get us on the show to start talking. May more than likely be on the Sunday shows because obviously on the Sunday shows we've got more time. There's more time for me to sit and discuss stuff. There's also Lou here acting like a translator. Because let's face it, I'm usually lost without Lou being sat next to me, words and that will just scramble in my brain. Or I will go on a ramble and that's it. You guys have lost me because there's no way of anyone coming and shutting me up. And that sounds great, Ben. Yeah, honestly, I'll try and sort out best I can. Obviously, this Sunday show, I am doing the Grandfather Paradox because I'm starting my new, somewhat smallish season, or smallish couple of shows about paradoxes, because some of them are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The I can't remember the technical name for it, but like the multiple I'll get my words right soon. The multiple universe or multiverse as they call it now. Multiverse paradox is one that completely and utterly destroyed my brain when I was trying to work it out, because even when you get to the quantum mechanics and the quantum physics, that paradox exists within there, and it is just so nuts that you come to realize that every single detail you do can technically create a multiple universe paradox. So like even you guys now technically are creating multiple universe paradoxes. And I'm trying so hard not to ramble on this one, guys. But if I do start rambling, honestly, just start firing like bloody smiley faces or something, so I know that I'm rambling and I'll get a warning because suddenly all these faces will pop up. So just a quick glimpse onto that sort of paradox, because it fascinates me at the minute, is for everything that we are technically doing now, you are creating multiple paradoxes just by doing that single acts. In your lifespan, you can create an infinite amount of paradoxes. And in a sense, when Chris talks about it, melts my brain. Yeah, this is the real clencher that got me. So, due to quantum physics law, you technically. Oh, hello, Charles. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in ages. Hey guys, just popped on whilst at work. We'll rewatch. Charles, you know the rules, mate. If you rewatch, hashtag all. To be honest, Charles, just message me personally, because you've got my personal Facebook. So just message me if you got anything, any questions you want to ask personally. Just go for it. So the multiple paradox, and this is what got me brilliantly, is technically soon as you are conceived, and I mean right at the point of where you are conceived, you start creating multiple paradoxes within the first like within the first millisecond of you being conceived. So your life creates multiple paradoxes at that point. Now, from that point backwards, you are still creating paradoxes. So your mum and your dad have already created a paradox. You are the result of a quantum paradox. Just by being born, you are a result of a quantum paradox. And then from that moment on, every millisecond of your life is producing different quantum paradoxes. And this is where things can get massively, massively confusing. And I mean really, really, really bloody confusing. But I won't go into any more because we know what I'm like, and Lou's not here to shut me off. Unfortunately, I've just got a puppy that's still creeping at the side of me. Oh, I mentioned his name. He's moving again. So yeah, obviously, them shows are coming up as well. I am going to start tomorrow as well because, oh, is it kind of like string theory? Um, no, but string theory can be applied to it. So, and again, you know what I'm like, guys. I try and bring an explanation of science into the paranormal as well. And it's basically the basic way to understand and explain how this the quantum paradox happens is if you're at the end of a road, you've got crossroads. So one in front, one to the left, one to the right. At that point, everyone always thinks there's 3 different answers to that question. There isn't, there's 4. So yeah, you can go forward, which will make it turn, that will send your life on a completely different journey. You can go left, which will send you on a completely different journey. You can go right, that will send you on a completely different journey. You can go backwards, that would send you on a completely different journey. Every single option that you can possibly take will send you on a different direction in life. Each direction will add to other decisions that can cause other effects. So, in a sense, you can go from one decision, or basically, scratch that. You're at that crossroads still. You've gone forward, yeah. So we're on the forward road in front of us. We're going forward. Imagine that forward road as the trunk of a tree. If you're following me, you've gone straight on the crossroads. You are now going up that trunk. You come to the next decision, which says a left or a right. You choose either left or right. That trunk then splits into 2 branches. So yeah, going on to 2 branches. Them 2 then hit another crossroad. You can either go up, forward, left or right. They branch out into more. By the time you realise you've gone from this perfect thing into this, with just multiple decisions. I know it's a really bad example, guys. You've gone from that into all these multiple decisions. If that kind of explains it. If not, give me 2 seconds and I'll go and get a pad and a paper. Is it like a bit like when looking glass theory? Yes and no. Let me get some paper and I'll show you what I'm. Right. So I'm going to tilt the camera down a minute. So I'm trying to make myself look somewhat decent. So if I can remember how to do this. Oh, don't worry about being late, buddy. Right. So everyone can see this piece of paper. Yep. So say that. I don't know if you can see it or not. Can everyone see that all right? In fact, I don't know, guys. Sorry, I know we're having a bit of technical difficulties here with me trying to explain stuff. I know, I've got this right. Sorry, guys. Right. So that's your crossroads. Yeah. So we are here. Yep. You decide that you at this crossroad are going to go straight over. So you go straight on. That's the path you've chosen. Yeah. So from there, you come to another crossroads. You can obviously, you could decide in life that you want to go all the way up them crossroads. Every single line being a completely different crossroads at the event in your life. Yeah. So that is just a small example of your life. That being the end of the road. Yeah. So 2 seconds, guys, because I need another pen. This is how it was explained to me. Right. So this is obviously our line. So you have to bear with me, guys, because I've got to try and remember how to do this. So we've come to that first event. Yep. That event, they create a different paradox. So our lives go completely different ways. Yep. Same with them ones. Branch out. Busty not helping. They branch out to different ways. They branch out to different ways. They branch out to different ways. Yeah? Is everyone with me so far? So, again, on these, you've got your different crossroads happening there. Yeah. So, from them different crossroads, you go from, say, second indecision, you go, I'm going to go this way. So, you go that way in these lives. Same with them. You might even want to sort of go backtrack on them ones. Or same with them crossroads, you might want to go that way, but on that one you've gone that way, and then on that one you've gone that way, but you've again met crossroads there, there again. So in a sense, you are literally just bouncing everywhere. Now, after a while of doing that and decisions being made and you zigzagging in a sense all over the place, crossroad there, and probably a bit of a neck there. That one probably comes to an end. That might lead to an end. That might just come across there. You might end up coming across that way. You get what I mean? From here, from that main line of just you making that first decision, in a sense. So, if this is technically, I don't know, I'm trying to do upside down there. It felt that. Oh, beginning of your life's there. End of your life is here. Yeah. Just from being born, you've created that paradox of everything. Everything becomes, every single decision becomes crossroads, everything adds up. That's what's known as a, I can't bloody think of the word now, my brain's gone. Everything's collapsed. That's what's known as a quantum universal, the quantum universe theory, quantum universe paradox. It's every single decision you've made, you've just created alternate universes constantly. That's the mess you end up with. That's the best way it was described to me. The best way I could think of describing to you guys in a small amount of time. But then you think on every single decision you've done there, you've got energy that's along with you. So we know the human body creates energy because we know of the electrical magnetic pulse that the body puts out, the electrical magnetic field that the body puts out. Now, this is another theory that's brought into the quantum theory, is that when you reach a point where you get, say, deja vu, it's one of them points where every single event in all the universes happens exactly the same moment. And you are all in exactly the same point. So every single path leads to that certain point. Now, the idea on to add string theory into this is how what you would probably catch with the sorry guys, I'm trying to explain it the best I can, and we know what I'm like. I struggle sometimes explaining stuff. The quantum string theory that you get from that is that, like I say, at that point in time, every single atom in your body is in exactly the same place. Now, as I've said before on the other shows, we have go back to my drawings. Sorry, guys. This normal like Friday show is literally turned into like Sunday's show in a minute. On a quantum. Sorry, guys. So let me just do this. Or crude drawing, but that's an atom. Yeah. So you've got the electrons spinning around. That's how you taught in school. Atom. Yeah, I know it's bad drawings. Come on, guys. We know what mine. So that's an atom. What do you mean I'm preaching? Sorry, I'm just catching up on everyone's comments while I've been rambling on. I know where you're coming from. Thank you. Jeanette, it's like kind of. I'm hoping that kind of answered it a bit for you, Sally. Probably not. We know what I'm like. Yeah. What we got? Is there one where I'm a millionaire, please? And how do I get it? There is that possibility. Everyone is literally you. The possibility is endless of what you could be doing. Yeah. So as I was trying to get back to what I was saying when my brain kicked up, is all these atoms at the point that we know are all stood exactly in the same point. For every atom, I'm probably going to run into something else here. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that, and I'll explain it different when I'll explain it again when we get onto that one, because we know what I'm like. I'll ramble for hours on this, and I think I've already been rambling about 20 minutes, so I'm surprised you're all still here. But yeah, as I've said at the beginning of the show, before everyone start turning up, any paranormal questions, any questions at all, throw them up at the minute as well. It's literally just me by myself tonight, because Damon is dealing with. Oh, Damon's having some time to himself, and Lou is out tonight with her work, so she's going to be enjoying herself, which is about time she went out and enjoyed herself. It's just me and literally Buster's here because everyone else left. It's Nala's in the other room. So anyway, I'll get onto more of that when we start doing the Sunday shows and I start working through the paradoxes, because then I'll have all my notes and it'll be easy. As I said before, I start rambling on that, which I apologize again, guys. I am going to be starting to look at different ways of execution and the most brutal ways people have died, because I know you guys love that, and it's a nice little break in everything, as barbaric as that sounds. And the last one I did, you guys seem to absolutely love. So I'll get onto that. And trust me, I know some brutal ways that people have been killed in history. So I will do a show on that and we'll get that sorted. I might even try and get an intro for it done properly. Might have a laugh. But yeah, other than that, trying to think of other things. I did have a plan, but it all kind of disappeared when I sort of panicked and went, "Oh God, I need to go on." Honey's box. I love the Honey's box. Not sure what you're on about there. So, Zero. Might be missing. I'm a bit tired at the minute. We know my brain don't work. I have to explain, and I'll work it out. I'd love to know your thoughts on these black orbs we keep getting on our house. If we could encourage the faith, oh, sorry, I've got a walking great crack down my screen. It's right where all the comments are. If we could encourage the faith that has left us. The black orbs, if you've seen on cameras, I'd double check, and this is the only time I'm ever going to say this. Burn sage just in case it's not mold bacteria, because sometimes you can pick that up, and it doesn't matter. And I'm saying this to everyone as well. It doesn't matter how clean your house is, you can still end up with little bits of mold in places you don't. mainly in your roof rafters as well, next to or above your gutter line in your roof, and they can get in. But with the Fae, try bringing in wildflowers to the house. A friend of mine told me that years ago, that wildflowers, you bring them in, the Fae tend to follow. So I'll leave you with that. Oh, hello, Emma. Nice to see you. I'm trying to read comments with splits in the screen, so you have to bear with me. Hi, Ben. Just back to your your description, tree dragon. Isn't there depending on other people's decision that you come into contact with? Miss the beginner, so be missing the point. Yeah, the thing is, every person you come in contact with creates more paradoxes, so you end up with more multiverse. Basically, you just end up with more. Get me words right in a minute, guys. Sorry. You end up with even more multiverse paradoxes, because every single decision you make leads you on that path. If you think, for me example, if I hadn't changed my job when I was working at a timber yard, Harlow's, if I hadn't made the decision to ask one of the lads that came in on a regular basis if he had a job, I wouldn't have ended up getting a new job. I wouldn't have ended up meeting Lou. Me and Lou probably would. We like to think, or when it comes to this idea, we probably wouldn't have ended up getting together. We wouldn't have ended up getting married. I wouldn't have ended up setting this up with Damon. And my life would have been completely and utterly different. That's an example. If you think back in your life, any single thing that you suddenly went, I'm going to do something about that, the whole thing changes. This is where the multiverse paradox comes in. If you think, the weird thing is, Emma, look about it this way: if Lou hadn't decided that she wanted to go on a HD event, because I'd never heard of them, you wouldn't be sat here now being able to ask that question, because this wouldn't exist. Well, the show would exist, but you would know nothing about the show, if that kind of brings it into light. So we would never have met for you to have asked that question. See what I mean? It's how things roll. It's really, really weird. Sadly, the honey and milk punishment is horrendous. That is still one of the top brutal ways to be killed, and it was I think it was only ever used like once or twice in the entirety of its existence of people knowing. Not on camera. We see them all the time. All right, that makes sense. Like, the best way to look at something is by finding out what it possibly isn't first. The only other thing I can think of with that would be you can. This is what. Luckily, Damon's not here, because he'll jump on me for this. And this is the only time I'll say it. You can download an app for your phone that has that basically turns your phone into a Hertz amplifier. I will get you a frequency to set it at. I need to get in contact with my mate, because he's got a massive long list of different frequencies. Set your phone to that frequency, leave it alone for a bit, and it'll put out that frequency, and you'll find that the black dots will disappear, the black orbs will disappear, and it'll probably bring in the Fae, because they'll wonder what the noise is. Give me a day to get them for you, though, because he's not exactly the brightest of sparks, and he lives in America, and trying to get in contact with him is like all dust, because time difference. Like covering criminals in honey. Yeah. It's I can't remember the frigging name of it. Begins with S. Yeah, it's the one where they're slowly eating inside. It's only ever been used twice. Yeah, brutal. But believe it or not, I know worse ones than that. Miraz felt the same. We met because her mate missed a bus. Exactly. This is the thing. This is how it works. Aren't some things destined to be regardless of the path, so it would happen anyway? Not necessarily. That's where the multiverse paradox comes in, is because technically everything you've done or everything you've chose to do is create them different paradoxes. So you're not gonna technically end up with the same result every single universe. So it's kind of hard to say that some things are destined to happen. That's where this paradox comes in. The reason it's a multiverse paradox is because it just creates constant questions. And it just constantly flows with questions and questions and questions. But it is one of them things. And it does make you question. It does make you look back over your life and question how things could have gone. So things, all roads lead to change. Yeah, it's one of them major things. Like I say, when I come to cover it on the Sunday shows, on the Paradoxes show, I will get it all sorted out and get that all sorted, like get all the notes sorted and come up with the answers I can for you all. I'll try my best to explain everything the best I can do. Lives in America says it all. Oh no, he's not American. He just lives in America. He's over there doing research at the minute for someone. He currently works at MIT in America on a research grant, dealing with frequencies and how they affect the body. But his major thing is medical stuff. But he lives over in the Netherlands. He's just over there at the minute doing that. But he's a sound guy. It's my favorite. Everyone loves the Blood Eagle. I like it, but it's not as long. Yeah, you see, the thing is with the Blood Eagle, there's not a great deal of evidence of it actually happening. That's one of the few things. There's not actually evidence that it's happening. Now, one of the most brutal ones I know, and I'm saving this for the show, is by the Middle Eastern desert tribes, and it is frigging brutal, and I mean brutal. I feel that certain choices could lead to similar results, but not that they are destined to happen. I say it's really, really. It makes you think. The multiple universe paradox makes you think, and I think that's the beauty of it all. It makes you think. It's like that same thing, the same one as if a tree falls in the forest, do you hear it? They're not technically there to answer. They're there to make you think of the possibilities. And to quote someone as well, and I can never remember his name. And Sally, your partner, Tom, quoted the same bloke, and I can't remember the name. If you understand quantum physics, quantum theory, you don't understand quantum theory or quantum physics. It's one of them things. It's beautifully constructed. But my God, does it rain? That's the name. That's one, Sally. Yeah, that is where two boats. You're placed in the boat, have honey and milk spread over you. You're forced to drink honey and milk. They attach two boats, so your arms. So basically, you're stuck between two boats, and the flies and that lot will come and eat you alive. And as you're obviously fed this milk and honey on a daily basis, your body kicks out the milk and honey, and the flies lay their eggs, and basically they end up. You get the gist. I don't want to say too much because everyone's eating. That's probably why they say you should follow your own path and no one else. Yeah, technically, yeah. Yeah, you should always try and make your own decisions because in the end of the game, it's your life, your rules. Don't let anyone dictate your life. If your life is dictated by others, then you're a prisoner. And if you allow it to be that lot, it's known as Stockholm syndrome. Trust me, I know a few people that are living in Stockholm syndrome in a minute. Are you talking about? No, I'm talking about the basically the old caravanners. They still run the routes from Egypt to the brain's gone again. Morocco. They still run the old lines. Mainly with like the perfumes and stuff like that. Blood Eagle sounds just like hung, drawn, and quarters to me. Practically the same thing, and the one where they leave just the head up out of the sand. It's a good one. Yeah, that's part of the one of the tribal ones I come across. Being left in the sands is probably one of the most brutal ones going. And like I said, I got told about one, and then I went and actually studied it, found out, got to contact one of my mates in Egypt. He actually told me it does still get used, and it is brutal. And they don't have a name for it anymore. But if anyone you know has been subjected to it, you are literally shunned still. And I'm leaving it for the show because it is absolutely brutal. That's the one. Yeah. If you understand quantum mechanics, then you don't understand quantum mechanics. But I also got told, I think it was Einstein that said it. If you can't explain science, if you're trying to explain something and you couldn't explain it to a 3-year-old, then you don't understand it. That's one of another thing as well. It's just so much thing. See, the other annoying thing as well with the multiple universe theory, the multiple universe paradox, and this might help answer your question in that, is, for example, if you have the multiple paradox theory, you are living out your life, your branches are being created, your multiple universes are being created. Then you bring in Albert Einstein's that time is relative to the person observing it. Then bring in another theory that technically everything that's ever happened has already happened and is still currently happening. And that, again, wrap that around that time is relative, that you are stood here now, but in the future you're not here, but in the past you're not here. But if someone in the past is still living now, this is where there's a theory in cultology about what ghosts are. They're not actually dead. They are just currently locked in their own time because time is relative to them. And we are, in a sense, the ghosts of their time period and the ghosts of future periods. We're living out our time. And that's another paradox I'm going to cover massively at some point, but that will take at least probably 2 shows to cover because it is a mass theory and it is frigging brilliant. Have we got one? Am I pronouncing this wrong? Because if I am, I apologise. Is it Brestow? If it is, if I've got it right, brilliant. If I've got it wrong, I am so sorry. I'm terrible with names. Are Oxford libraries difficult to access? I'd love to get hold of my research into alchemy. Do you have Facebook? Because if you do, drop me a message, please, and I will send you over one of the Alchemist books that I have. A friend of mine sent me. It's 400 pages long. I will gladly send it you, and that is from Oxford Library. Oh, Colonial New England. You can put an academy request form in at Oxford Library. See what they say. So the best thing I can say is just email them and ask. And they might be able to point you in the right direction. They might even be able to send you over PDFs. But like I say, if you've got Facebook or email, I will try and send you. Well, I know I can on Facebook, but email is a bit harder. I will send you this book that I've got on alchemy, and it is an old alchemist book with all different measurements in that lot. I'll gladly send it over because a friend of mine sent it to me, didn't tell me, and it basically nearly broke my phone. Sally, do you think ghosts are just people from another paradox? Possibly, but like I said, I have more the theory that they're existing in their time, because obviously time is relative. It's a bit of a scramble one to explain, because Sally, you were there when I was talking to Marshall, and you've seen me talk to Marshall at quite a few different locations. That kind of puts a hole in my own theory as well. So, like I said before on this show, again for people that come up, a lot of these theories are theories that I'm working on with people I know in the fields. However, they are my own personal theories that I am researching. So if I'm found to be wrong of some of them, I may be found to be wrong of all of them. Put my hands up. They are literally my theories by my own research. I just throw that in where I can. But yeah, there is that possibility that ghosts are, in a sense, from that different paradox. Same with a friend of mine has a theory that mediums have the ability to pick up on your multiple universes. That's why they can get things right, and that they can see outside of time as well, which is really weird as well. I'd have to get him to. I might even try and get him on to explain this theory because it's a brilliant theory, but it's hard to explain his theory. Recently heard that time could be wibbly wobbly and not linear. Yeah, time is wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. Yeah, a lot of people think time is linear. It's not. Time as we know it is a human creation. Outside of our time, even if you look historically wise, we are we work well. We're awake in a sense, say from we'll go off my scale. It's easy to explain. Then I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I go to bed at 10. That's considered normal. Well, 7 till 10 o'clock at night is considered normal. Okay, this has only been normal for the past probably not even 100 years. You go back to the sort of, I don't know, say industrial revolution era. People were sleeping through day and night. So daytime, I think you used to work like 8 hours, and you go to sleep for 4 hours. Then you get up, do a bit more, then sleep for another 4 hours. Basically, you'd sleep twice a day, as weird as that sounds, and be at work. It's Time has changed for people over the centuries. Now, if you go right back in history, I mean right back, we used to sleep during the day and be up at night. So, like I say, it's a concept. Weirdly, it's a concept that we have created. That, yeah, technically we live by it, or if you think in the animal kingdom, in a sense, their concept of time doesn't exist to how we would perceive it. This is the problem we have. Run on to a different subject that I've seen today. Scientists are starting to notice that we might have to start looking for life outside the universe that isn't carbon based. No shit. We have this principle as a human race that we think life abides by our rules. It doesn't. You just have to look at how humans are, then look at everything else in this world entirety, and we are merely a blink in history. And when it comes to like genetics, we are nothing. Think about it. We get sunburn. Our planet is 70% water. No human can breathe underwater. How the does that work? Yeah. You make the world a bit too hot, we start dying. Make it a bit too cold, we start dying. You get stuff like water bears. They can exist in bloody stupid temperatures and still be alive. There's fungus we know that eats uranium. Like Chernobyl at the minute, the what's known as the elephant's foot has fungus on it that's eating the radioactive material that would otherwise kill us flat out. We are on that search for life, basing it on our rules. It has to breathe oxygen, has to have water, has to have this, has to have that, has to no. Even if you just take that step that a lot of people did in science a long time ago, if you take the step from a carbon base to a silicon base, friggin' hell, life changes massively, absolutely massively. This is the problem we have. But anyway, that is a ramble by me, and I'm going to do a show on. I'm going to try and do some more scientific shows as well, guys. So apologize if you found them boring, but I do. It's a bit selfish. I do like to talk about science a lot as well. Yes, you've said it right, and I'll message you. Thanks very much. Honestly, message me and I'll send it out. I'll get it sorted. And that. So if you do not move forward, everything is happening over and over and over. Answer is to move forward to free yourself. Exactly. Oh, the best thing in life is always go forward. However, and this is where I'm creating my own paradox. I've always said in life, you always go forward, but at some point, sometimes you have to go back to go forward because it's the same with anything. You can only go, sometimes you can only go so far, and a situation will lead you to a certain point, and then you're hitting a wall. And instead of just constantly going like that, sometimes you got to go back, go round. And there's nothing wrong with starting over. Jesus Christ, I dread to think how many times I have to start over. It's just one of the things. It takes a stronger person to go back a bit, go, right, that's not worked, swing around, try again. Honestly. Sorry, guys, I'm proper like I'm all over the place tonight. Could I get a copy of it, please, as well? Yeah, I'll send it over. Honestly, your phone, make sure you've got space on your phone because it's bloody massive. Up, sorted. Oh, I know you now. I know you. I've got name to the face now. Sorry, I'm having one of them days. Recently heard time a description of time theory as wibbly up. Yeah, honestly, yeah. Yeah, Doctor Who. Yeah, everyone here is claiming Doctor. Yeah, it's literally the best reference ever going. No, it was a paranormal guest. So he thought through his own experience. Yeah, again, I think people. I think I've said it a few times myself. When we're at events, that you're stood there. Technically, everything is happening around you. Stone tape theory, in a sense, is time theory as well. They might just be going about their daily routine. You never know. It's one of them questions. This is what's good about paranormal field is you literally cannot, and I dare to challenge every single paranormal expert going. Prove to me that all you have answers to everything. Because I can guarantee you 100% you don't. And even I say it all the time, I don't have the answers to everything. And I hate it. And people that know me well hate it if anyone ever turns around and says, I'm an expert, because I am not an expert at all in any way, shape, or form. Expert knows everything. I don't know everything. And to say, and this is quoting an very old, and very, very badly missed teacher of mine. The day you say, I'm an expert, is the day you stop learning. And if you stop learning, then you stop progressing as a human being. That's where you failed in life. To stop learning is to fail the whole purpose of living. Well, yeah. Very good, very, very good teacher of mine, and I would not be the person I am now if it hadn't been for him. And he is missed massively. Fair enough. Yeah. Emma, science is awesome. I love science. I absolutely love it. That's why I try and bring so much into the paranormal field. And you'd be surprised with quantum mechanics and quantum theory on the rise now. You can bring in bits from quantum theory, and it does kind of explain a lot of paranormal stuff. Prime example is when people hear me talk about ferals and stuff like that. It makes more sense. Yeah. Thanks, Ben, for only blowing my mind a little bit. Got to shoot off now. Tesco deliveries is due. See you later, Sal. Honestly, anyway, it's that time of night, guys. I've rambled a bit longer than I thought. Honestly, I only came on tonight. I have probably a 15-minute chat because I didn't think anyone would come on because of it being short notice. And being by myself, we all know I can end up stumbling over myself a lot. But tonight, actually, weirdly as it sounds, quite impressed with myself because I've not stumbled at all. I've not had a moment where I've just gone, which for anyone that remembers the first ever show I did by myself, when I just got, Damon had a problem with his electrics and I literally got abandoned. I just full blown shut down on live and just went, oh, I don't know what to talk about. But yeah, honestly, it's brilliant having you all on as always. I love you guys to bits because you are the best people I have on. And it's brilliant to have you, and the questions you ask are amazing. And the fact that you sit there and tolerate me rambling is even better. As a scientist, to know everything or to be perfect means you are failed as a scientist, because as you're no longer challenging yourself. Yeah, honestly, if we are not pushing the boundaries of human knowledge, we stop progressing. We've done this since the beginning of time. Humanity has pushed forward, wanting to know more. And this is how we've ended up with the most advances in technology. And we still keep going, and that's the best way. Interesting. Jeanette, interesting again. Thanks. You've done well without Luke. Yeah, without the other half of me, I usually go completely scrambled. Love you too. I can't type quick enough for all the questions I have. Emma, honestly, you just have to email us. You've got us on You've got me and Luke on our own private pages. Just message us in a general chat. Honestly. So looking forward to Friday and Sundays. Have a good night. Thank you, guys. I'm literally now going to go and feed the dogs, and then I'm going to sit and I'm just going to play probably Fallout until I fall asleep. So, peace out, guys, and I will see you Sunday. Honestly, I will start with the first paradox. It's Grandfather Paradox.